the channel. I've been asked to do this video for quite a while now by a lot of you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it tonight. This is the full walk around of the TTR 110 or the TTR 128 as it sits right now. Had a ton of questions about how the wheels are holding up, which obviously is pretty good. I'll get to that in a minute. How difficult the 128 kit was to install, and I'll get to that here in just a few too. Surprisingly, I get a ton of questions about handlebar setup. But aside from that, I get asked all the time about the pit bike track. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert a video of the pit bike track. Now I did just go out there to kind of toy around for a little bit, but it is a really, really cool pit bike track. All right guys, so I'll take you for a lap or two around the track. Just kind of show you how it is. This is a double, triple option right here. Not hard to get over, super fun. This is that step up I was talking about. Double, triple option. Double right here into the wood section. Got this sweeping corner right here into a double. This section right here holds a lot of water. So I'll give you a fast lap real quick. All right guys, so that is the track. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the track. I don't ride it a whole heck of a lot. The kids love to ride it. So if you're kind of on the fence about riding and you aren't sure really what to put your kid on, whether it's a dirt bike or a four-wheeler, we've got a full review out there on the Raptor 92. So definitely be sure to check that out. All right, so with that being said, I get a ton of questions about handlebar setup. These are obviously Mica metals. These are by far some of my favorite handlebars out there. I used to run the tall Pro Tapers, and these I just kind of like the bend better. Pro Tapers seem to have a more straight up and down, where these Micas kind of bend back just a hair. They're super comfortable. I didn't have to do any trimming to the end. One of the questions I get a lot of, do you have to replace the throttle tube? And no, I didn't replace the throttle tube. It is certainly an option if you don't want this little bit of overlap on the grip. It wasn't a big enough deal to have to change out the housing and all that. Everything works fine. You've got enough throttle, cable, travel if you reroute it. Now, the way that I routed this is obviously back behind the number plate, and then it'll come down right on this side and group in with all these other cables. I'll put a link down in the description below for these handlebars. I don't know if they're still available. I bought these from T-Bolt USA, where I get a ton of my parts for either T-Bolt or Faster Minis is my #1 go-to. If I can't find it there, then I'll usually have to dig around on eBay. So that's up at the top. If you have any other questions, obviously drop them down in the comments below. I'm really responsive on here. So as far as fork setup, there are BBR heavy duty fork springs and the 1.5-inch extended damping rods. This was a really easy mod to do. I've got a video on the channel, so if you don't know how to do it, then check that video out. It is a little tough to get the ring out by yourself and get it back in, but it can be done. You just gotta apply a lot of pressure down once you take that rubber grommet off. The wheels are holding up really, really good, aside from this right here. And this was self-inflicted. My daughter was actually sitting on the bike when it was on the stand, and she leaned back and the bike started to tip over, handlebar turned, and it drug right on the corner of the stand. Almost there. Woo! Good recovery. As far as riding is concerned, I haven't had any wheel damage from riding. It's held up extremely well. I've really been impressed. You really have to take into consideration your prep, and if you take your time with it, it's gonna turn out really good. Really not a way that it can turn out bad if you take your time with it. Now, obviously, you gotta be realistic with your expectations of how long it's gonna hold up. Obviously, the next step is to get them powder coated or get a new set of wheels. I just really don't care about making that investment. That's kind of the piece on the wheels. Still holding up really good. We're about 8 months from the time we did them, so I've been really, really happy with that. This tall seat right here was a eBay find, 15 bucks. It didn't line up exactly with the bolt holes. I had to drill out some holes, but that was about a 15-minute job. And this seat has held up really well. It's really plush, super comfortable. As far as I know, you can't find the BBR tall seat for the TTRs anymore. So this is really your best option. And I will put the link down in the description below for that as well. Pretty common on these bikes. This is a FMF Power Core 4. Now, as far as exhaust setup goes, I really am leaning towards buying the Pro Circuit T6. This exhaust, it sounds okay, it's extremely loud. So other than ticking my neighbors off, it's a good exhaust, but I really just want a cleaner sound. With that being said, 128cc kit. This took not a whole lot of time to install. Now, obviously, if you know a lot about carburetors and you know a lot about jetting, this probably won't be a big lift for you, but this was a hard thing for me to do. I had never done any jet work prior to owning this bike and pretty much had to learn everything myself. I did custom jetting with a micro jet drill myself. Yeah, just be prepared to do a lot of trial and error. I burnt through like 2 spark plugs, I think, running either too rich or too lean and just basically wearing them out. But other than that, it runs awesome now. Thing's gnarly, dude. It as soon as you put that kit in there, it really wakes up the bottom end. I've got absolutely no complaints about it. Really wasn't too hard to install. Like I said, just really getting the jetting right is what took the longest. But overall, I've been super happy with it. Like I said, I may go a different route with the exhaust, but other than that, things been flawless. It's already pretty warm, so cold start sounds a lot better. I've got a cold start clip that I'll insert here too, so you can kind of hear it.
That sounds good.
When it gets to the rear shock, I get a lot of questions on this too. This is a DNM 290 millimeter, 350 pound spring rate shock. I'm about 185 and it works perfect for me. It's really plush. My daughter weighs like less than 100 pounds. She sits on it and it still squats just a hair. So it's super plush. But yeah, other than that, if you have any questions, drop them down below in the comments and I will be glad to answer them. Like I said, I'm really responsive on this channel. So drop comments down below if you have any other questions. Again, rate the track down below. Let me know what you would do different, what you would keep the same. Thank you guys for watching. So much appreciated. See you guys.